Hi, my name is Janine Barrett with Janine Barrett Coaching, and I'm still continuing my discussion about this book, Crazy Good by Steve Chandler. And so this week I'm going to talk about creating versus reacting. So if you notice, I have it written up behind me, and they're the same letters. So just think about that, okay? And they're somewhat opposites, and I'll discuss that in a little bit. So just wanted to read really quick a excerpt from the book, and then I'll talk a little bit more. So he's sharing how he had written this book, or I guess he's written a couple of books and done audios. And so he received a letter. So he said, this guy said he'd purchased one of my first audio programs, and it was awful. It was worse than awful. My voice was slow and monotonous. He couldn't stand it. It made me want to kill myself, he said. Wow, that's a heavy criticism. And so he's trying to decide, should I defend myself? So that's basically the question. How would you respond? How would you choose to react to that particular situation? Would you write an email back just being mean and calling them names, or just showing how, would you basically respond in kind? Or would you choose something else? And so what he decided to do was thought about what his coach told him and said, okay, the opposite of react is to create. So he thought about, how can I create in this particular situation? And so what he did, he decided he wanted to create a relationship, which sounds kind of odd, but this is what he did. He decided to respond back in an email that said, um, I hear you. In fact, I agree with you. My early recordings are just flat out bad. I think the current ones are getting better, but I could be fooling myself. I have to say, I appreciate people like you who have the courage to reach out and tell me the truth. You are helping me get better. I'm sorry for your negative experience, and I want to make it up to you. If you send me your mailing address, I'll send you my latest books. I'll send my latest books to you. You can read them to yourself at your own pace. Um, Thanks for taking the time to communicate with me. And so that was how he chose to respond. So then, a few days later, he got a response back from the guy who said, wow, that was unexpected. I must say, you take criticism pretty well. Was I too negative? I do like your books. Did I not tell you that? I enjoy reading them. And so he ended up basically creating kind of a relationship with this person. So that's kind of basically what I want you to consider. So I try to think of an example where I have made choices to create instead of react. So the one example I have is from when my daughter was a little girl, and she say she spilled something. I don't know, kids spill stuff, right? And so I remember in general and even now when she makes a mess or if she spills something, I don't get upset. I ask the question, did you mean to do it? So say she spills milk. Like, did you mean to spill the milk? Did you like take the milk and pour it out? Or did it just fall? And so usually her response would be, it fell. And I said, okay, well, what could you do different so that it won't happen again? And then she'll say, okay, I tried to carry too much, or I put too much milk in my cup, or whatever. But it's just an opportunity for her to think about what happened that caused this result. And she noticed that I didn't get mad. I just said, okay, let's clean it up. Now that we know what happened, that's kind of happening as we're cleaning it up. And then that just allowed us it just made it so that I was able to create an opportunity for, so that she knows it's an open relationship, open communication, and I won't get upset. And it just helps to create trust in our communications. So um, a Bible verse that makes me that kind of came to mind was Romans 12:2, and that is, Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. So think about, how can I respond to a particular situation that's different than maybe what the world would respond? How can you create something different? How can you choose not to respond, but to create? So I'll leave you with that. Have a great day. Bye.